Huh? Mickey?
Huh?
Mickey, what are you doing here? And what's with the cup covering your head?
Oh?
It's not even Halloween yet. Oh, you can't even talk with that thing on. Here, let me help you get it off. Oswald, the lucky rabbit. Is that you?
Enough already! Just because we have the same shorts doesn't mean we're the same character.
Oswald.
Actually, Minnie, wasn't Mickey cloned from me after Universal Pictures took all the character rights from Walt Disney in 1928? Now that's a better example of being the same character.
What?
Oh, and dear Minnie, did you know that you're also a mere copy of my girlfriend or Hortensia?
No, it's not true.
Clones like you don't deserve all that fame and fortune you have today. Leave her alone, Oswald! Or else what, Mickey? Stupid knockoff. Huh? What?
Silly Oswald, acting like you're not a copy yourself? A copy of me, Felix the cat!
At least put some pants on.
And where's your bra, Minnie? It's kinda sad, really. Did your creator seriously never tell you who was the original model for your existence? It's obvious you all share the same basic rubber hose elements. But let me tell you how it all started.
On November 9th, (1919), I was unveiled to the public as the first cartoon star created specifically for animation. My rise to fame the silent era of film influenced a lot of filmmakers, and of course, a lesser-known man at the time, Walt Disney was among them. He was just starting out with laugh-o-grams. His earliest fairy tale cartoons, but the money was tight, so he moved on to making Alice in Wonderland shorts. And that's where his first copycat act happened. Oswald, you
not Disney's first attempt to copy me. It was a cat named Julius who appeared in all those Alice in Wonderland shorts, doing all the things I was known for, like pacing and detaching the tail when he was in a quandary. Visible question marks would form over his head. So one of my trademark innovations, the New York Times even called Julius a blatant clone. From the rubber hose and circle design to the detachable body parts. But anyway, fast forward to 1927, when Disney and his partner Ub Iwerks were at Universal Studios. You were created, Oswald. Lucky for you. They made you a star of your own cartoon shorts, unlike the poor Julius.
You are not the first cartoon star, Felix.
Oh yeah. Wasn't there Gertie the dinosaur and the Little Nemo gang years before your debut, Felix? It's true. There were other animated characters before me, but none of them could convey human life as much as I could. I was the first relatable creation who could directly speak to the public. I could talk thanks to speech bubbles, read, drink, and more importantly, entertain. And of course, my brand of entertainment was like no other, because I could play with the daily life thanks to the metamorphosis possible only in animation. So, transforming my tail into whatever convenient thing I wanted, breaking the fourth wall, and reality itself with visual gags was among few of my many tricks. Despite being breaking the fourth wall and reality itself with visual gags was among few of my many tricks. Despite being a cartoon cat, I was still able to stay believable as a real character that the audience could connect with.
You copied Charlie Chaplin. He was the first one to use metamorphosis in film.
Well, last time I checked, he was not a cat. We looked nothing alike, and while we had similar acting roles, he could never achieve the situations and visual gags that I made possible. He was only a mere human after all.
Yeah, you don't look like him because Crazy Cat was your model. Your original design was pretty close to him, or her, them, and they came a few years before your debut, Felix.
That gender fluid pussy's got nothing on me. We're both cats. Sure, but Crazy never had a stable identity compared to me. She was more about love and drama than creative problem solving or metamorphosis. And after my career took off, Crazy was the one who started to resemble me. I guess you get some credit here, as Crazy started to wear your type of gloves and that mini off for a girlfriend was just too obvious. You mean Hortensia ripoff? But that's not interesting. Instead, why won't you mention the fact that the blue hedgehog was modeled after me? Despite how low the poor guy has sunk these past years, it's still nice to have a direct influence on a once big video game icon. You and many others would never have been created if it wasn't for me, as I was the first role model to the cartoon world. Do you see how important I am?
Someone who's so important sure doesn't seem to have his own cartoon series anymore. Not to mention, your last cartoon was Baby Felix! Such a relevant cartoon character indeed.
Fine. I'll give you that, Mickey. Your latest cartoon series is pretty neat. A decent mix between classic and cheap flash animation methods. Too bad you can't say much about your latest video game ventures.
But aren't you forgetting something?
Please, Mickey. Don't tell me you enjoy running around in that angsty Hot Topic clothes. With that stupid keyblade of yours. The whole Kingdom Hearts series is literal garbage. Nothing but candy graphics covering nonsensical gibberish and complimenting that mindless button mashing gameplay. What the hell did they even do to Donald?
Who cares what you think, Felix? The series is selling millions of copies, which means people want this stuff.
The Minions movie is also one of the top grossing films ever made. Does that mean it's good? Face it, Mickey, just because you're the mascot of the biggest media empire on the planet doesn't mean anything in terms of quality. Your Disney executives and producers have been creatively bankrupt for decades. Just look at all the latest live action remakes shamelessly preying on nostalgia. Disney was so desperate for new ideas, it had to buy Lucasfilm, Marvel, and even 20th Century Fox. The fact remains, Disney is no longer able to produce anything fresh and original on its own. But what am I saying? As we all know already, Disney has been stealing ideas since its earliest days. The better question would be, which era did the company steal from the most? Taking all the public domain properties and turning them into profit is one thing, but ripping off original works like Kimba the White Lion, Thief and the Cobbler, Nadia without giving them any credit is a whole new level of repulsion. Even your dog, Pixar, has been guilty of stealing direct concepts from shows like Real Monsters. Even your career, Mickey, took off on a copycat note. The Steamboat Willie short making you an instant star would not exist if it wasn't for the live action non-public domain film Steamboat Bill Jr., which Disney used for inspiration.
It was a parody!
Embrace the truth, Mickey. Your career is a joke compared to my legacy. 100 years have passed since my debut in the cinema, and you still cannot beat me in originality. None of you can. Sooner or later, thanks to the internet, everyone will know who is actually responsible for the birth of cartoon animation. And after
Just shut up!
or else what, Mickey?
So what's wrong with looking the same?
the old one too! Huh? Is this for me? Gosh, for a knockoff, you sure are nice. Please! Please stop this! There's no reason to fight just because we look similar. We can do much better than this. Together, we are stronger. We can do incredible things. Why, if we unite and join forces, we can even purge those Chinese cartoons once and for all!
How many clones of me are there?
But these are clones of me! This clearly wears my shorts!
Just think! How many generations of artists we can inspire so they can keep our rubber style forever alive!
That's one inspiration that doesn't deserve to exist.
How dare that ugly excuse for a character design cash in on our rubber hose style!
Tainting our image with some bootleg 3D graphics? To be fair, nothing could have saved that cheap jump scare trash of a game.
Purge those wannabes, I say!
You know, Mickey, you can easily make sure nothing like this happens again with that multi-billion empire of yours. You sure you want to give him that idea?
That's actually an interesting thought, guys! Imagine what pure world I can create! Hold it! Where's your license for that rubber hose design? Under the new media law, you are hereby considered violators of the protected rubber hose aesthetic. You're coming with me, boys!
Should we untie him?